What's going on, fellas? I've got here a 2003 Honda Civic, and I'm going to use this car to point out to you the location of the blower motor relay, the blower motor fuse, and also give you some troubleshooting steps for when your blower motor is not coming on. So let's start, since we're already here, by checking a fuse number 14, which is behind this cover. This is a 10 amp fuse located in this fuse box assembly here. And what makes this fuse so important is that power from this fuse is necessary in order for the blower motor relay to engage. So it's fuse 14, this 10 amp right there. And if you find that that's blown, you can get a spare fuse from under the hood. So let's go over here. Opening this up, squeezing these tabs and lifting up, you can get that spare 10 amp fuse right here. Now the blower motor, the power to that blower motor comes from this blower motor relay when it engages. When this engages, it gets power from this 40 amp fuse here. So this is the fuse that sends power. You can pull it out by wiggling it and lifting up. And if you want to swap in a different fuse, the fuse right next to it is for the power windows. Now this blower motor relay, there's no other similar relay that we can swap in, unfortunately. You can tap on the relay. Sometimes they get stuck and tapping on it can free it up. If you want to just momentarily bypass this as a troubleshooting step, you can remove the blower motor relay and connect these two pins together. Connecting these two pins together will result in power being sent to the blower motor directly at all times. So not a permanent solution, just a temporary troubleshooting step. You know, we've talked about the power going to the blower motor. Blower motors need power and a ground to run. And it's actually the ground that controls the speed of the blower motor. So let's take a look at the blower motor itself, and we'll talk about the ground circuit as well. We've got to get this cover out of the way. So here's the blower motor. There's the connector. The blue-white wire is what receives power from the blower motor relay when it's engaged. The blue-black wire receives varying levels of ground from the blower motor power transistor, which is right here. The blower motor power transistor is how the different speeds occur, and this is controlled by the actual knob that you turn. Now we're at the blower motor here. Again, troubleshooting, what we can do, have the blower motor turned on, and we can tap the bottom of it with like a wrench or something. Sometimes a bad connection can form inside the brushes of the motor here, and giving it a good whack can sometimes momentarily cause it to start working again. I also like to grab the connector and wiggle it. That's to test for a bad connection. We can also disconnect it by pushing in on this tab and pulling down. And we'll want to inspect these pins for signs of corrosion. Sometimes you'll pull this out and you'll see that it's totally burnt out or green or blue from different corrosion there. While we're here, we can use a voltmeter and measure for voltage between these two pins. You can also get a light bulb and put the light bulb in there and see if it powers on, like a turn signal bulb, for example. If you see voltage between these two pins, but your blower motor doesn't turn, then it may be bad. If you measure voltage at the blue-white wire, you know that your relay is engaging. But if you don't see ground coming in on this blue-black wire, you may want to consider trying a new blower motor resistor here. It's just held in with two Phillips there on either side, and here's the connector for it right here. So yeah, I hope that this information is helpful for you in getting started with troubleshooting. Please do let me know if you have any questions, or more importantly, if you have any advice about troubleshooting the blower motor on your Honda Civic.